Someone look for Beyonce because your earworms for today are basically anything she's ever put out because someone broke the internet and we need someone to blame. I don't think it's her though, but the issue is not so much with the internet at large, but a big chunk of it, which deals with the large Amazon Web Services outage that's going on right now, disrupting folks all across the world with popular apps and sites, including Snapchat, Roblox, Coinbase, Venmo, Alexa, and Amazon's own retail pages. AWS reported increased error rates and latency that cascaded throughout independent services worldwide late last night or early this morning based on where you are. Major banks and government sites in the UK reported issues, with the latest this morning saying that some services are recovering. Most global features are tied to an affected region back here in Jersey. Initial status says AWS's U.S. East 1 region in Virginia, I said Jersey, sorry, Virginia, no harm to Jersey this day. The hub has many companies relying on a core database and routing from there. Basically, handshakes between you logging in and them giving you access to things. Reporters and status pages are saying that they're flagging a Dymo database performance issue, likely as a trigger. That may be a bit over your head, but essentially the handshake guy is not letting people handshake. There you go. And it's knocking out services that fetch or store data in real time because so many apps concentrate on workloads through this region. The failure multiplied pretty quickly. Now, the outage coupled with various other things around the world include Snapchat, Signal, finance types of messaging things like Robinhood, Coinbase, Chime, and Venmo. Some productivity apps like Slack and Zoom, and smart home and voice tools, i.e. your Alexa and your Ring doorbell probably aren't working right now because of this outage. Gaming sites like Fortnite, Roblox, and Pokemon Go, oh, the horror, are going to be down for a while as well. And there are issues, as I said, with banks and airlines and telecoms saying they have some knockout effects as well. Some AI services built on AWS will probably have issues going through. Perplexity, one that's been confirmed right now, but you won't really know until you try to log in and get the circle of doom. Downtime expected to be low. However, with something on the scale, low is a relative term. Experts say that the early signs point to an internal technical fault, not a cyber attack, and not somebody tripping over a wire at the data center. Still, this incident highlights a structural risk where the internet's reliance on few large cloud regions. This is one where the monopolies that make things faster, better, bigger, and smarter, if you will, once they go dumb, go really dumb for many folks. About a third of the internet traffic that you may use in your day part has something to do with AWS, which is great for Amazon's bottom line. Not great right now when the AWS is not happening. Critical databases endpoints shows that dozens of downstream services are failing all at once. Bad for regulators and digital rights groups, or actually good for them who look for renewed calls for redundancy. Bad for people who are owners of these things who have to basically pay more money to fix things. Multi-cloud platforms and planning needs to reduce single points of failure risks. This is one that was obviously not seen, or someone did something about it, but then something happened, and so now let's just say it's been seen. AWS reports significant signs of recovery. That means it's working hard to get things back up within hours. Later saying most affected services have returned, though some customers might see some issues while stabilizing. We shall see what's happening. Various pieces of technology in various places are being affected right now, and this has been literally about an hour and a half as I record this since I knew about it, but this happened later in the night, earlier in the morning, however you see that for many places. It just so happened to be something that someone actually reported about and Down Detector saw as an actual issue early this morning, around 3-ish this morning, turned into a news story around 4-ish as I'm watching things here Central Time going forward. Check out your stuff before you actually go back into work with things. So companies have login restorations there, payment information there, notifications of caches being refilled, and backlogs being cleared to work things out. So you should be back to normal fairly soon. As I said, that's relative. The postmortems about AWS and the partners are expected to clarify the root cause and how to prevent these things happening in the future. Now, this, number one, is a big boost to your cybersecurity, whether it's personal at your house or with your company, which you work with, making sure that everything is safe and access is also available if something like this goes down. The bad news is this won't be the last time something like this goes down. And as we rely more and more on the internet and on, unfortunately, AWS to do our thinking for us, it's going to be a big deal if it happens again, especially at this scale. Now, this was able to affect just one data center with a lot of heavy traffic. It's not the only data center, not the only hub, not the only node out there going forward, but so many things go through Virginia apparently, that this scale of cloud computing became a big issue fast. Will they fix it? Yes. Will they find ways to safeguard against something like this again? Yes. Will a cyber attack take us out next time? I don't know. Will the AIs figure out that there's a hole in the system and use this to kill us faster? Probably. What does this mean for all of us? Well, a little less Snapchat, a little less FanDuel, a little less Roblox, a little less Pokemon Go, unfortunately, and a lot more scrutiny in our security for our devices and our stuff that we use.